Ramen, but the one that comes in that steel bottle. So I have melon ramen.
The one with the little ball?
Yeah, but it's the one that comes in the steel bottle that doesn't have the ball.
Oh, but what about the ball, bro?
They don't want to make noise while we're recording. And then I
No,
have
you can make all the noise you want. Like, I don't know if you heard that I cracked open the Red Bull.
I did.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have and I got a liquid death slaughterberry with me.
Slaughterberry.
We should mention it. Yeah, I've been getting drinks like I told you I drank that soda last episode.
Yeah.
So now every week I'm like, ooh, what am I gonna drink on the podcast? And I'll.
Yeah, no, it's always good to have your mouth lubricated when we do so much talking. Like, you need to have some sort of fluid in your mouth, right?
Some moisture.
You want to keep your mouth. If you think about it, your mouth is the most moist part in your body at all times, right?
Depends. I don't know. I'm telling you my secrets.
You mean like you have like dry mouth at times? I feel like my mouth is always constantly.
No, I actually really have bad dry mouth, so that's why I tend to chew a lot of dry mouth gum that's sugar free, because the sugar, if you chew regular sugar in it, makes your mouth dry. Yeah,
really.
But
is that caused by something like the dry mouth?
I mean, there are plenty of things, like having high blood pressure, just having bad teeth, if you have diabetes.
How long have you had dry mouth for? For a while, or?
Yeah, maybe like since the pandemic, maybe a couple years now.
Yeah. Well, if anything, if anything, I'll buy you liquid death so you can keep your mouth moist.
Perfect. I appreciate
it. But speaking of liquid death, I was gonna say maybe for the next stream we can have a little liquid death PNG next to our characters. I can probably even have like the sword replaced on your cloud with a liquid death.
You can. Yeah, can you for next episode? Can you make it look like I'm drinking a little liquid death can?
Yeah, because we're trying to get that sponsorship.
Yeah.
And
That'll be fucking funny.
Yeah, you've gotten me addicted to liquid death recently. Like,
dude, it's good, right?
It is, yeah.
Sparkling water,
yeah. But I remember when I first saw liquid death on like in stores, and you would mistake it, for like a
energy drink or beer
or a beer. Yeah. It just has a really cool like design to it, but it's just water. Like when it first came out, the original one was just water.
Yeah. So what's funny is my sister. We actually learned about liquid death way before it was even in stores. My sister had found them online on Instagram, and she goes, "Hey, look at this water!" And we looked into it, and at the time, you had to, when we found them, you had to pre-order a case of water from them. Like they're like, "Oh, we're new, and if you want, you can pre-order like a case of water from us." And we were like, "This is so cool!" And I remember we did that. We got like a case of water, and I was like, "This is great." And then like a few years later, they were just fucking everywhere.
Yeah. So did you find out about it online, or you saw it like in store?
No, online. So my sister found their Instagram.
Oh,
they were promoting through Instagram. They were playing like Instagram ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she sent it to me, being like, "Hey, look at this. This water's hilarious. It looks like beer, but it's water."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And then I went to their website, and they were like, "Yeah, pre-order our water."
Nice.
And they talk about their whole mission statement on how they want to like death to plastic, and it was just cool. They were like a small business, and then now they're like corporation.
Yeah, it's great marketing. I just learned also about how when Red Bull first began, how they marketed their how they marketed their energy drink. Have you heard of it?
Yes, and Europe, it's my favorite. It's one of, as a marketer, it's one of my favorite.
It's crazy, right?
Stories.
Well,
about throwing empty cans, right? The empty can
so
story?
they would go to random like clubs in like different cities, and they would throw empty crushed cans near trash bins, and then people that would go to like the bathroom or stuff, they would just see all these crushed Red Bull cans, and they'll be like, what the fuck, like why is everybody drinking this this drink? And that's how they got like their first their first like exposure to the mass, right?
Yep.
It's crazy. Like that's such a cool story.
And actually, it's telling you, it's one of my favorite stories. And they actually started in Europe. They started doing that in Europe, and then it blew up there, and then that's why it blew up over here in the States. But it's just so fucking smart just to throw empty. There's a name for, not for exactly what they did, but I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember the name, but there's a marketing technique where essentially putting your logo and the brands in very visible places where people see it over and over again creates a psychological kind of curiosity.
And
I
feel like we should do something like that, like some weird way to get the name. Oh, by the way, we've started the podcast already, so
yeah, I know. I have the stream up.
Okay,
So I mean, let me intro us real quick, and then we'll keep going about how we will promote this. I guess you don't mind, right? Me opening up.
Yeah, go for it.
Doing our intro.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so welcome everyone to episode 2 of Parapulse. We have decided on a name.
Yeah, we have a name now.
It's no longer to be determined or any other weird mess that we've had. So yeah, this is episode 2. We're gonna do our usual chit chat for a little bit, talk about any random news that we want to talk about, any current stories, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with our main stories. Both Renzo and I.
The break is not the break is not like scheduled, but I feel like we're gonna be forced to go take a pee break.
Yeah, and I think the break is always good just because it allows people kind of like to regather before we do the big stories. And if we're lucky enough, if we ever get a sponsor, that'll be the perfect time to put in a little ad break.
I was also gonna say, like, now that we have a name for the podcast, we've already done episodes before this. It would be cool to go back to those episodes and kind of like reinvent them or like retell them again, because under
the Parapulse flag.
Because we had so many cool episodes that I love doing. Friday the 13th, the horrors out at sea. I feel like those would do good if we bring them back, and then actually we're actually gonna make a YouTube channel, so we're gonna upload them there. I'm currently working on a logo for Parapulse, so we'll have a logo for the podcast. And yeah, we have stories set up already for weeks, so
hopefully we can stay.
We hope that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can stay committed and do our weekly episodes, and we just have cool stuff to talk about, and hopefully there's new stuff to talk about every week.
But
like we were saying, like you were asking, what we should do something cool like Red Bull did to promote. I mean, if you are a designer, if you end up making like a cool logo, something, we could just make a bunch of stickers and then just put them everywhere.
I was gonna say we go down the Red Bull route and we put them like like trash bins at random clubs in Europe.
Yeah. Or if you're down, we could, because we want to get a Liquid Death sponsor, we can take Liquid Death cans, put our sticker on it, close brand new cans, and then give out free Liquid Death to people
with the Parapulse logo on it.
With the Parapulse, yeah, and yeah, we can even add a QR code where if they scan it, it just goes to our podcast.
I feel like we
You
would
know
get into legal issues if we do that. I feel like
why?
liquid.
We're just giving out free drinks that we brought. We
May...
never say we're affiliated, and if they ask, if someone goes,
yeah,
"Oh, like, are you guys with Liquid Death?" No,
no, we're just
giving out
fans. We're just
drinks.
huge fans of Liquid Death.
Yeah, we're just huge fans.
Yeah.
And now, not only does it potentially get the podcast out there, it gets us in front of the Liquid Death eyes.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, we'll think of something. I was thinking more of like attaching like stickers of the logo to like pigeons, and then just having random pigeons have like the Parapulse logo on them or something.
Yeah, that's also cool.
But you know, like another favorite campaign, like from recently. I can't talk. If you can't tell, like today is my Friday. Happy Tuesday. It's happy Friday for me. So
Happy Friday for you.
it's the end of the work week and I'm feeling it, but you know, just gotta push through. But yeah, I was gonna say, the movie Smile had a really cool way to, you know, get the word out for the movie.
Yeah.
You heard about it, right? Yeah.
They just had people at like sports games and concerts just fucking smiling.
Yeah, and nobody knew like who they were or what they were doing, right? Like even the casters at these baseball games, they would just, you know, zoom in into these people that were just standing there smiling, and it was so creepy. I think there was another movie that also did it with clowns, where they would just have random clowns in different cities just stand and stand there menacingly, like, you know.
I remember.
But Smile had a really cool way of, you know, promoting the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I love those, you know, those tactics to get the name out of your brand, instead of just doing, you know, just like billboards or stuff like that. Yeah,
that's why I love Liquid Death. Not only is it like I enjoy their product, I love their marketing team. Like, let's be real, I'll say it on here and I'll say it anywhere. I would love to work for them because they are so creatively free.
Yeah,
like they're just like, I can see them being in a room and being like, hey, we need an idea for like an ad or a campaign or what's next.
Yeah,
and they're just like, go wild. Like, there is no bad idea. Throw everything at the wall until we put something crazy together. And they've come up with the coolest shit. Did you see the keggers for preggers ads recently?
For Liquid Death?
Yeah.
No, if you can link me to that, we can probably watch it.
Yeah, I'll do that because that'll be one of my current
keggers for preggers.
Yeah. So basically, you know how it looks like beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're pregnant, you shouldn't drink alcohol.
You shouldn't.
So you should. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll send you the videos what you want to see, the YouTube video. So, and it's cool because they actually teamed up with Kylie Kelsey, the wife of Jason Kelsey, the ex-football player.
Okay.
So she's pregnant. So the
sports.
Let me put it in sports. Yeah, sports.
Yeah.
So here's the links in Trip Talk.
Okay.
So the basic premise is like, hey, you want a drink and you want a keg? Here's a keg, but it's kegs for pregs.
Okay.
And they literally just selling a mini keg full of water, so that pregnant women can quote unquote drink.
Damn, yeah.
I've had so many of these today.
Getting fucked up,
bro.
Oh shit! Wait, can you actually get one of those like mini kegs?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many pregnant ladies getting fucked up.
$20. sold out already, but I'm sure hopefully they restock. They tend to restock quite a bit. I will probably
So
buy one
funny.
on the restock.
That's so funny. I like it.
Right? It's so cool. Like, and that's another thing. Like, they're not afraid to make really silly products.
Yeah,
Like
no,
they did.
I
Travis Barker had
I
an
want one of
enema.
those mini kegs. Like,
Yeah,
they look
Travis
fucking
Barker
sick.
did a enema. So there was like they sold an
What?
enema.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Wait,
did.
get an actual enema that you can use on yourself?
If you wanted to.
All right, welcome to the enema talk portion of the podcast. But have you ever used an enema, Cloud?
I haven't. Listen, I know this. We hadn't planned to watch a liquid death ads on this episode.
Maybe we make that a goal for the podcast. Maybe we both get an enema and then we report back our research.
I just sent you a link. Play this one, and they actually sold it. It was a Travis Barker Enema of the State collectible kit, and you got an actual squeeze bottle, an autographed can, so you can put liquid death water up your ass.
The woman of my dreams. How have I had such a successful
This is what I mean. Like, they're not scared to make silly products.
Well, I mean, you could probably make an enema at home. That kind of looks like what's that thing that you use to take out like babies' boogers?
Your booger?
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. I can probably do that after stream tonight.
But yeah, I mean, again, that's truly what I respect about them, is that they have there is no fear in how they handle themselves marketing wise.
Where's Hannibal Lecter there?
Serious. Yeah, they don't take themselves serious. They everything's a fucking joke, and I just love that.
Yeah. So definitely, I think the podcast should be called "On the Hunt for Liquid Death" sponsorship. Just that whole title.
We'll do an episode. We'll do an episode where all we do is watch all their ads.
Yeah.
And browse their website, and we'll call it "Hunting for the Sponsorship."
Yeah. It'll be cool. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with our theme of the podcast. There is gonna be some death. Oh, there's a lot of death in my stories.
Yeah.
Cloud has shifted to doing stories about
yeah, I guess we should tell them now. So if you don't mind,
go for it, please.
So we know Renzo does horror and a lot of the spooky stuff, and occasionally he also dabbles in the true crime. Recently definitely. I've been the one doing kind of like the true crime stuff, so that'll still be something we talk about, right? True crime where like murder is involved and
so I want to stick up. I want to stick with true crime, paranormal, anything ghost related. If anybody in chat has any ghost stories or anything that you've heard that's really weird, please feel free to send it in chat. Or I think we're even gonna make an email for the podcast. That way we can have some submissions of stories. If you have a favorite artwork that you have, so I'll definitely be bringing you guys weird, paranormal, fucked up shit that I find every week. And Cloud will, you can take it from here.
So my special interest, my hyperfixation, is actually heist. I'm a big fan of like heist movies and thieves and things of that realm, so I will be doing stories involving,
I'm excited.
Famous like robberies, famous thieves, famous heists. So my first story.
Go
ahead.
I was just telling Cloud about somebody that stole a golden toilet yesterday.
Which I'm gonna definitely be talking more about that golden toilet.
There was a golden toilet that was stolen recently, so
But yeah, so I have a story. My first story. My first high story will be starting this episode. Then we'll keep going from there. And again, there'll be moments where maybe I do a little bit of more of a true crime. I guess heists are true crime, but
Yeah.
It's more of a targeted part, than just doing like true crime and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool because that's a region of true crime that I haven't really looked into at all, but it sounds very like cool because in order to steal these like artworks, like there needs to be like a whole plan and a whole like scheme behind it, and I'm excited to hear about it, like why they want to steal these pieces of artwork and how they do it and how they get caught if they ever get caught.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we'll be hitting up on a lot of that stuff. I also will on some. I'll probably be talking a bit about what they're stealing, what's so special about it, things like that. But yeah, I mean, we're excited. I think we're both kind of hyped that we found something that we both kind of like.
we were both talking. Yeah, we were both talking about how we were kind of like hyper fixating this whole week about our whatever we're covering today. Yeah. And I already have like hyper fixation on the next episode. Like, as soon as I wake up tomorrow, I'm probably gonna be hyperfixating on next week's episode.
The next story, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much the intro. That's a long intro. I think we might have some.
It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of. You have any current news that you had on?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as exciting as last week's current news. Last week's we had grandmas trying to sell people's toes.
We had stalkers getting stalked back.
We had this guy trying to swallow rosary beads in order to fight off demons on a plane. That was crazy. Like, I don't think this week tops last week's stories, but
with the current event stories, I agree.
Yeah. It's so crazy. But I guess I'll start off with one of the most recent weird things that happened this week. It's a real life horror story taking place in Antarctica. Is that how you say it? I remember we had Antarctica. This Antarctica. Yeah.
You asked me about it. Yeah.
So this research team, right, sent out an email to the South African Ministry of Research, I believe. So they sent out an email, right? And the message in it said that a crew member had gotten very violent in their base. And that they were scared. They were scared for their lives because this guy who they haven't revealed his name got into a fight with the captain of the team and attacked him. And this attack seems to be triggered by some sort of dispute between the captain and him. But he got really violent all of a sudden, and they even reported that he was sexually assaulting them also, which is really weird. It reminds me of a story of a crew that was on a ship that was they were attacked, right? And they were all stranded out at sea, and their own crew members started attacking each other, and they even started to kind of like wanting to rape each other too. Like it was really, really weird. Like I kind of want to do episode on that event too, because it gets really like crazy. Like they think that this attack in this research base was because this guy had some sort of mental breakdown, and this mental breakdown came from like extreme isolation. So whenever a team goes out to in Antarctica, they have to basically isolate themselves from the entire world. Like they have like no communication with anybody. So
okay.
And it kind of reminds me of the movie The Thing. Have you ever seen The Thing, Cloud?
No, I don't think I've seen The Thing.
You've never seen The Thing?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Actually,
I've heard about it plenty of times.
yeah, yeah.
I know the story of The Thing.
Oh, you know,
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so The Thing is basically about a alien that can shapeshift into, or it can replicate whoever it kills. So it starts to terrorize this team, also like I think it's like in some snow region, but it takes form, you know, of whoever it kills, and then they can't tell if, you know, if it's somebody that they know or if it's the alien. So that's kind of where it parallels the story that's going on right now. But there's been communications with this guy. They've you know, they've tried to solve whatever he's going through, and he seems to be cooperating now. Like whatever
he's not like resisting.
Yeah. But I think this is all going on through emails, because there's no like really there's no way to talk to him directly. It's all by emails.
Okay.
So yeah, so this guy attacked the captain. The other crew members felt really they felt like they were in danger. They told the team that they weren't gonna evacuate them because they need to get through this as a team, and that they were specifically picked because they were, you know, they were suited to take this mission. This happened in February, so it's been about 2 months now, or a month. Yeah, it's been about a month.
Yeah, about a month now.
Yeah, but they're scheduled to be there for another 13 months, and they're only getting a supply drop in December, so it's gonna be a while till, you know, they can return back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so after that there hasn't really been any updates to what's going on. You know, I'll be following the story as time goes on,
as it develops.
Yeah. But I feel like he basically had a mental breakdown, because, you know, being isolated and then having to deal with harsh weather, like, probably got to him.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
Yeah.
Or who knows? What if he like caught some sort of like fungal virus or something that like
it's taking over his brain?
Yeah, it's crazy. You never know what it could be.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's one of the recent stories that I was reading up on, and yeah, it just sounds like a real life horror movie.
Yeah.
there's no real way to, I guess, deal with this. There's no police there. There's, they kind of have to just deal with this on their own. So yeah.
No, that's crazy. Like, I'm kind of interested to see what ends up being what happens next.
Yeah, and again, this is brought on by extreme isolation and stress. Like, somebody just breaks down mentally, and they become, either very violent or very unpredictable. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, what's going on over there? By the way,
it is. Yeah.
What's up, Iced Coffee? Iced Coffee is in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah, Iced Coffee. I think last stream you were asking if we have a name for the podcast. Now we do. So so we're calling the podcast the Parapulse podcast. We'll be uploading to. I had a little lag. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll be uploading the episodes now to YouTube. Do you think? Really, what is the name of? Yeah, we're calling it the Parapulse podcast.
Yeah, Parapulse podcast. There you go. Yeah.
Parapulse. Yeah. Parapulse team. Yeah. I was gonna say, do you think we can also upload it to Spotify?
Yes, but yes. The answer is yes, but not as fast as it. Yeah. It's sort of like I have to submit it before they allow me to upload it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work on it.
But obviously YouTube is the easiest, fastest one, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna name the YouTube just the Parapulse podcast.
Yeah, it's not made yet. Maybe expected to be up by next episode, episode 3.
Yeah.
The channel should be up, and it should have episode 1 and 2 on there.
Yeah, and it'll have a logo and everything. So
yeah,
I'll be working on that. But yeah, the first 2 episodes will be up on that YouTube channel.
Hopefully by next week is the goal.
Yeah, I'll try to have it linked into the bio of the channel. Maybe we could even make like a whole new channel dedicated to Parapulse, right?
A whole new thing, yeah.
Yo, what is up, Hermit? Welcome to the stream.
So yeah, Ice Coffee, by next week you should be able to look us up on YouTube, type in Parapulse, but we'll also give you links. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I'm also gonna make a Parapulse email. That way, if you guys have any stories that you want us to cover, or any personal stories that you find weird or creepy that you want to share, you can send them over to the email, and yeah, we'll read them out on stream or on the episode. So yeah, that'll
be cool if you guys do send us
I'm excited.
Any stories.
I'm excited because I want to hear more stories from our community.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. And if you guys ever if you guys ever stolen anything and you want me to tell your story,
that's actually a really cool that would be a really cool thing to hear. Like, if you've ever stolen something, your greatest theft.
Yeah, and
in your life,
it could be anonymous. You shoot the email. We won't drop your name. We'll make up a name for you. We'll just tell your story.
No. We won't tell your names. If you don't want to be revealed, we won't reveal it. But yeah, now that you brought that up, Cloud, one of my biggest thefts that I committed in my lifetime was the theft of a mango.
Mango?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So
tell me more. Is there more to it, or is that it?
So I'll just try to tell it really quick. But when I went to Mexico, one of my first times that I went to Mexico, me and my friend were walking back to my grandma's house, and at one of the like neighbors' houses in their yard, I saw this mango, and it was the hugest mango I had ever seen. Bro, it was weird because the whole floor was like it was like wet because I guess they had watered the floor because
Yeah, yeah.
over there when it gets super hot, you water the floor and it cools down, like,
It cools the floor. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
so the whole floor was watered, and in the middle was this huge mango, and it was so bright, like it was, the orange, yellow, and the green, and it stood out.
Oh, it was a good colors. The
Bro,
good colors.
Yeah, it kind of like even glowed. When I saw it, it felt like it was glowing, and it was the biggest mango I had ever seen. And I was like, bro, I can't not take this mango. And so I went into that person's yard, and I grabbed this fruit, and I took it back home. And my grandma then later came, and she was like, hey, did you take somebody's mango? And I was like, or she was asking me, like, where did you get this mango from? And I was like, oh, I just picked it up. And she's like, oh, really? Because one of the neighbors said that they had a mango taken from you. Yeah.
Oh.
But man,
You were like, that's too bad. It's not this mango.
it was too irresistible. Like, I couldn't resist not taking this mango. Like,
Bro, that's crazy.
I
The
don't regret it.
the great mango heist of
The great mango
1995.
Bro, if that mango was huge. I'm gonna say it was at least like 4 feet long and like 6 feet thick. How would they know? It's because they were they were the only people in that block that owned a mango tree.
Oh damn! They had those mangoes counted.
Yeah. So if you've
They
ever
woke
gone,
up every morning now and they were counting their mangoes.
yeah. So if you ever go to like a village or like a pueblo, like in those areas of Mexico, like they
my
know,
family in El Salvador has
yeah,
a mango tree, so
they
I
know
know the
who has a
vibe.
mango tree or who has the lemon tree. And bro, what I could have been animal squirrel. Oh, it could have been a squirrel who took it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of my greatest greatest heist.
Yeah.
The heist of a mango.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
What about you? Do you remember your?
Oh yeah. Easy. The greatest thing I've ever stolen was my girlfriend's heart. Somebody clip it, send it to her, clip it.
Clip. How do you clip? I don't think I have the Nightbot to clip. You have to manually clip it.
When you were telling me your mango story, I knew you were gonna ask me, and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm about to get some brownie points right now, real quick.
That's cute.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, have you ever stolen anything in your?
Yeah.
Like, as you were a kid or something?
So allegedly, when I was younger, allegedly,
guilty till proven. Innocent till proven guilty.
I would steal. So you remember wrestling, and they had the WWF Divas.
Okay.
Yeah, so they would have their own magazine, and it was almost like Sports Illustrated with just all the divas in like bikinis and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think I could afford those magazines.
I would steal these magazines, and then But just wait, I would steal them and then I would cut them all out, the pages one by one,
Oh,
put them in a folder, you know, with those plastics, and then I would resell them one by one at school for like $5 to $10 a pop. And the magazine itself was like $5 to $10, and then I would just sell 2 pictures and I got my money back. But it
Bro,
wasn't even my money back because I stole it, so it was 100% profit.
you were flipping
I was
WWF
flipping,
divas.
yeah. I knew all these little, you know, all my little fellow middle schoolers were little horny degenerates, you know.
So wait, how did you steal it? Like, did the clerk never notice you? Did you have like a certain
Yes, I had.
tactic to do
Not
it?
to give away, allegedly, not to give away my secrets. I knew where the cameras were at, so I would hide, and they had beer stacked up really high.
Uh-huh.
So I would go behind the beer, and then I would rip the barcode off the corner of the magazine, and then I would just pocket the magazine and put it under my sweater and walk out.
Damn.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Them nosy ass kids want to know all. Yeah, I was making. They were giving me all their lunch money. They were giving me all their lunch money just for one picture of Trish Stratus in a bikini.
So do you remember how much you made selling those?
No, because I was doing this like on a weeklies, right? So I would steal 1 or 2 magazines, and then I would just make bank go. And then what's worse is I could have just bought the magazine after that, but I remember I wouldn't, you know, like I could have just bought after my first investment.
Racketeer.
But eventually I'll say out here, eventually, allegedly or whatever, we end up, and a friend and I ended up getting caught at that store stealing Hot Wheels. Until this day I blame it on him. It's because he didn't want to follow my plan. He got nervous, and so he started rushing, and I'm like, no, you can't rush. You have to do it behind the beer or you'll get caught. And
You gotta do it behind the beer. Right.
Yeah.
So wait, you would steal these Hot Wheels for yourself, or you would also...
I would never steal Hot Wheels ever.
Yeah.
I was only just doing the magazines and flipping. I was running a business. All right.
Right.
I was running a business.
Right.
But my friend wanted the Hot Wheels. You know, so I said, sure, right now we could do it, no problem. We could do the Hot Wheels, no big deal. So it was the first time taking any Hot Wheels. I was doing it for him, and we got caught because he didn't listen. And then I got banned from that store for like 10 years.
Damn. So
again, I think the limitations has passed too. I was a minor. It was years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we did a bunch of stupid things as kids.
Yeah, as a children.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that. I wouldn't say. Like I said, I was still, even though it sounded like a joke, my greatest heist was stealing my girlfriend's heart. But I did have when I was a kid, I did have like kind of a problem when I was stealing those magazines. But I was just flipping it for money.
You know, there was a time during my life where I would steal things from friends at school, but just to give it back. So if somebody had like their phone in their pocket, like I would find a way to like pickpocket them, and then I would just be like, hey, can you show me your phone? And they'll be like, what the fuck? And then I'll just show them their phone, like, oh, I have it. So it was kind of...
You were always in it for the hunt. It was for you. It was never about the item. It was the thrill of the thrill.
Steal. The thrill of taking something from someone and have them not notice it, and then just to have it, just to give it back to them. So, you know, I never stole anything. I just pretended to.
I just borrowed it for a little bit.
I just borrowed it for a bit. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any stories about stuff that, you know, you've stolen or stuff that's been stolen from you, like,
yeah,
we're kind of doing stories on that now, so we're excited.
We'll have that. That's also part of the pod. That, or as you said, spooky stuff. Any creepy stories you've had happen to you or people you know. Again, we'll have everything set up by next episode. We should have the YouTube, the email, everything ready, and we'll just keep rolling it out, and hopefully this can continue.
Also, if I don't see you till next episode, Cloud, I want to mail you something so you can open it on stream.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
We can try to meet up. Our boy Akira is in chat from what I'm seeing. So if he's listening and he's hearing this,
Yeah, because
Instagram the group chat and let's try to plan maybe like a Saturday hang or something.
yeah, I'm down for Saturday because I still have things for you guys from Japan that I need to give to you guys. But
yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down.
But
I'd be happy to see you guys.
if I do give it to you, I'll give it to you like in a package, and then you open up the package on stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think once my PSP was stolen, I had hella games on it. Ended up replacing it though.
Oh, dude, I feel
PSP,
you. The PSP was one of the best systems out there.
Hell
one
yeah.
of the best handhelds. Yeah.
What was your game to play on PSP?
You asking me or Ice or both of us?
Both.
Puyo Pop Fever.
Good one. That's that's kind of like a puzzle game.
Yeah. And I had the homie jailbreak it or whatever you call it.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to download the Japanese one. Because that Puyo Pop Fever wasn't available in the US. Like as a UMD, right? That's what they were called. The games.
UMDs, yeah, Universal Media Disc.
Yeah, so I had to download it, and I was hooked on it.
Yeah. UMD, correct? Yeah. My game for sure was Luminous. I loved Luminous.
Ooh, dude, Luminous. Yeah, I was bad at it. I know you and Akira were like kings at that game.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say I was a king at Luminous, but I was hyper fixated on that game.
Nice.
I had a good leaderboard with the squad. Oh, on SOCOM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
SOCOM US.
Yeah.
Nice.
GTA.
Man. Oh, nice. Yeah, PSP goated, as they say.
Yeah.
One of the best.
They're selling it on TikTok. From what I've seen, Dragon Ball Z.
those like bootleg ones, right?
Yeah, they're like the replicas, like a Chinese replica of it.
100 games. Yeah. I think I still have one of. I have the original fat one, the PSP one.
Oh,
I think I still have one of
the
those,
heavy one.
And then I have I have a PSP Go.
Dude, the Go.
I think a little bit of a glorified MP3 player, but it was beautiful.
That's the one that was only digital, right?
Yeah, only digital, and it had like a slide up screen, so it was like those old school boost phones.
I think that's probably one of the rare ones because there wasn't a lot of it made.
Yeah, it didn't sell well, and I have the white one, and I actually bought it off one of my sister's friends.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Dude, Budokai was
nice.
So sick. PlayStation 2 and love Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Yeah, I remember playing those Dragon Ball Z games. Like they were so fucking good.
Yeah.
Tenkaichi 2 was really good.
Console gaming before we joined the PC master race.
Yeah. I mean, I still play like PlayStation games on like Switch. Yeah. So
I have a PS3 and then I have a PS4, but my PS4 doesn't play disc. A friend gave it to me.
It's got the it doesn't read the disc.
Yeah, it doesn't read the disc, so I never got to really use it.
Yeah,
I think we played Fall Guys with John. Remember, we were playing Fall Guys for a while on it.
Yeah.
That's the only game I ever played on it, but I still have it. I kind of want to clean it up and see if I can get it fixed. Because I mean, a PS4 is a PS4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank, all the classics. Yeah, dude. Sony during the PlayStation 1, 2, 3 era. Clean, great games,
amazing games. No, do you guys remember? Does anybody remember the game Jersey Devil? It was kind of like a Crash Bandicoot kind of game. Like it was a wannabe Crash Bandicoot, but the controls were so fucked that like it was unplayable. But I used to play Jersey Devil like all the time. No, I've never heard of it. Like the main character was kind of like this goblin guy. It was weird. I gotta look into. Yeah. Look up PS1 Jersey Devil. It's sort of like Medieval. Like Medieval got a remake on PS4, I believe. But Medieval was another game on the PS1 that like was kind of like a cult classic. Not a lot of people played it, but it was.
But it had enough. It had enough fans.
Yeah, it had an audience. I forgot who made Medieval. I feel like it was a developer who went on to make like other bigger games, but yeah, though that was kind of like my childhood PlayStation era. Oh no, there's lag. Wait, is it lag on my end or is it lag on?
Oh, I can't tell. Yeah,
because on my OBS, like there's no lag on it, and it usually will tell you like if there's frames.
Lag,
if there's frames that are dropped. But yeah, do you have any current news, Cloud, that you want to talk about? Anything?
Yeah, I was about to say we went on a little tangent, so let me hit you with one. Oh god, ass. Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna before I get into my story, I'm gonna give him a second.
Yeah.
So I guess we just talk about games still. The PSP, dude. The PSP again. Just I remember, I broke my screen when I had my first one.
Yeah.
I had it on my bed and I like jumped on the bed to get into bed and I hit knee first. It was under my blanket and it cracked and it was pretty much bricked.
Wait, you need your PSP?
Yeah, and I texted Akira immediately because he's our tech boy.
Yeah.
And and I was like, bro, what do I do? He's all like, I got you. He's like, I have an old PSP that doesn't work. It's like Frankenstein in pieces. The screen is still good.
Yeah.
He's like, just bring it over tomorrow and I'll see what I can do. And like the king that he is, he replaced my screen and I had a working PSP.
Nice.
And anytime I had a problem with it, like my joystick was messed up, he always had like, because he was always Frankensteining his consoles. He's like, hey, I got an extra piece if you need it. Bam. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was able to. I was sad, dude. I mean, losing the PSP, rough.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, for sure.
Is his coffee back? I don't think he is. How long are these ads?
Well, I don't know.
My man.
I think I need to like mess with the settings for it, but they shouldn't be that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I think we can go into your current news.
Yeah.
If you have any.
Yeah, I'll go into my current news and then we can probably hit the break if you want, or go into our stories.
Yeah.
But so my main story is, I don't know if you heard. There was a pilot at LAX that decided not to take a flight to Hawaii.
Oh, you were telling me this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about it.
The pilots always get ready. They check all the stuff. They check to make sure that the plane's good to go. And he was saying that there was just a string of like issues before the flight. That just made him worried. Like there was a. Let's have it here. So there was like concerning oil pressure on the second engine. When they first got into the plane, their first plane, there was a leaking faucet that forced them to switch to a different plane.
Okay.
Then that made them switch to I guess they had to go through a few different planes, and then on the second plane is when they found that there was that oil pressure on the engine. The pilot was saying that the mechanics kept telling him like, no, it's okay, you should be good, there shouldn't be a problem, you should be able to fly.
Yeah.
But the pilot says like, I'm not flying this. Just something doesn't feel right. I have a gut feeling that this plane is not like worthy of flying.
Oh, see, I thought it was something with him. I thought he felt like something off in general, like he had some sort of like
a vibe, right?
Like, yeah, like the vibe was off.
What happened? Yeah.
Like he was just telling everybody, sorry, bro, the vibe is off. I'm not gonna fly this plane. Yeah.
That's kind of what happened because like they told him, the mechanic said, no, you're good. We fixed the problem. You're good. We fixed the problem. You can fly. And even after they were told them, the quote they have is like, they told us the plane was good to go. but I'm not really feeling it. I'm not going to leave the ground if I'm not completely certain that we have an airworthy aircraft.
Yeah.
And you would think people would be mad at him, but a lot of people were like, nah, if the pilot, if the man flying this thing tells me I don't trust this plane, I'm gonna believe him.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's crazy to like we've seen a lot of recent.
You think that maybe if he swallowed some rosary beads that would help him?
No, you would have to put the rosary beads into the plane.
Oh, into the plane. Have the plane swallow the rosary beads.
Yo, this is gonna be such a weird callback for anyone who didn't hear the first episode.
Yeah, if you guys want to know about swallowing rosary beads in order to fight Satan, go back to the first episode. We have like a pretty crazy story.
Like rosary beads on the plane.
I wonder if they can make rosary beads that big to hang around an airplane.
An airplane.
So you just see like this airplane with these huge rosary beads around its like neck, because you know how like the front of an airplane kind of looks like a face.
Yeah.
Just hang them abreast. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
that is weird.
Crazy thing. Again, we've had a lot of plane crashes recently, so
yeah,
I don't blame them. And they talked to a few of the passengers, and there's just like two quotes. The first quote says, "I applaud the pilot, a mature and true leader who is not afraid to make a tough call."
Mm-hmm.
And another one is, if the pilot says he doesn't think it's safe, then I'm out. No questions asked. And I agree. If a pilot doesn't think this, I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy flying.
Yeah. I was also gonna say like maybe the pilot feels like sick in some way, and like because some of these flights go up to 5+ hours, so if they feel that they're gonna get even worse as the flight goes on, like better to not even get on the plane.
Yeah. I don't. Again, it's not too big of a trippy story, but that was the only kind of like recent event story that caught my attention.
Yeah,
just because of how things have been going.
You gotta send me a link to that, because I feel like there's a little bit more to.
Yeah. I'll send you the article I have, and there's even like a video of the plane like just sitting there. I think some few passengers probably took video, being like, "Hey, pilot said never mind."
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Sorry, bro. The vibe is off. I'm not feeling the vibe.
Yeah. I don't feel like flying today. Peace out. I'm like, all right, me too. I'm going wherever the pilot's going.
Well, I guess sticking to the airport topic, the next story that I have takes place in a airport, and it's. I was telling Cloud that I hate anything that has to do with animal violence, like people who hurt animals and stuff. That's just so shitty. Like I feel like you're the worst of people if you hurt animals. Like that's so shitty. But so this story actually happened in December of last year, but came back into recent news because they caught the woman who committed this crime, right? So this woman basically drowns her dog at an airport. This happened at Florida's Orlando International Airport, where she was trying to get a flight to, I think, like Bolivia. I think she was trying to fly to Bolivia from Orlando, but due to some paperwork issues, the dog was not allowed to get on the plane. And I think it's because she didn't have the proper certificates to prove that the dog was like had its shots.
Okay.
So like for rabies and for like other types of
Yeah, that makes
viruses.
sense.
Yeah. So she didn't
Basically,
have.
the dog tried to get his vaccines.
Yeah, so it didn't have its vaccine, so she couldn't. She didn't have the paperwork for this, so then they denied the dog permission to get onto the plane. And this happened in December. So one of the janitors that works at the airport ends up finding the dead carcass of a dog in one of the bathrooms, and he's basically like shocked about what he finds. And they do it.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, they have an investigation on what happened to this dog, and they end up finding through like surveillance video that it was this woman who took her dog into one of the restrooms at the airport and drowned it inside of the bathroom.
That's so fucked.
It's so fucked. Yeah, just because she was denied permission to bring the dog on board, like she had to go to such an extreme like measure to drown the dog. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like,
yeah, it's crazy to think, because like you think she wants to bring it with her, so if let's say you can't for whatever reason, wouldn't it be better to just at best abandon him? You didn't have to
yeah, like at least just like
dog,
leave him like there, but not kill it. Like, I feel like she was one of those people that like when she's told no, like she becomes very like a brat, right? Like she'll be like, well, if I can't have this, then I'll go do some stupid shit. Yeah. And
that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and so they think that she drowned the dog in one of the toilets, because they see her on surveillance video going into the restroom, and then 20 minutes later, well, she goes into the restroom with the dog, and then 20 minutes later she comes out without it. And so they try to catch her, and she kind of like evades security, and she somehow finds her way back into the plane that she was supposed to take, and she takes off. She goes to Bolivia or whatever. But after they do the investigation, where they see the video and they see that she goes in with the dog, and then she leaves without it, they're like, oh, she's the one that drowned her dog. And so they caught her on the 18th of this month at like some mall or something. Yeah, they caught her at some mall, and they booked her into jail, but she was let go on a $8,000 bail, but she's still under animal cruelty charges, so she still will get like a trial or whatever, hopefully get thrown in jail. When I read that story, I was like, that's so fucked. Like, it was a 9-year-old what is it, shiatsu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
little thing. Damn, that means it was a small dog, so she had no trouble just shoving that thing into that toilet. Bro.
Yeah, that's so fucked, right?
Yeah.
So stupid. Like, yeah, I hope she
literally could have just she could have just honestly, she could have just abandoned it, and someone would have
just leave it. Just like leave it somewhere and then just take off. Like, don't be fucking shitty ass person.
She's gonna do some jail time, hopefully.
Yeah, she has to do jail time. But yeah, that was another current thing that happened this week that was crazy.
Okay, so you want to hop into our stories? Want to take a quick bathroom break? What do you want to do before we get to the second part of the pod? Because we're about an hour in.
Yeah, I think we're about an hour in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could take a little break and then come back and we'll.
Yeah. If you don't want to, we could do a story and then you could do your story and then break and then we wrap out with my. We can finish with mine.
What about this? What about if I go on break and then you entertain chat for a little?
Oh, then no. Let's take the break. Then you want to? Oh, Ice is back though. Welcome back, Ice.
The lag I had to exit Twitch. Okay.
Gotcha. Damn, I was so bad. We're gonna do a break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break. We'll come back with some stories. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Yeah. So we'll grab a drink, bathroom, and then we'll be back.
All right, I'm back.
Yo, welcome back. Welcome back.
Sorry about the lag, by the way, Iced. If it's on my end, I think I'm gonna have to look into it for next stream because there's probably something in like the bandwidth or something. I haven't really messed around with the OBS settings, so it probably is on my end. So yeah, apologies for the lag.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, we'll have to. Well, we'll have some stuff like we were talking about it earlier before we started. We'll have some technical difficulties until we kind of get a groove of things.
Yeah, eventually we also want to do a podcast where we're both in the same room. I don't know. I feel like it's different, Cloud.
Yeah, the vibe would definitely be different.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll. We'll find a way to get to either your pad or my pad, right? To figure it out.
Yeah.
Or one of us becomes filthy rich, and I'll buy us a studio, or you'll buy us a studio. And
I also told Cloud that one of the things that we should do during the podcast is come up with a idea to become rich somehow. As
yeah, that's right. You did mention that.
If it's like a stupid idea or.
Yeah, every week we're supposed to come up with like a
get rich quick idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But you know, it doesn't have to be the focus of the podcast.
That's more like the meme aspect of it. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But you know, yeah, again, if we're lucky, one of us will win the lottery or something, and we can rent out a studio, and it'll be dope.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, so we are now at the second leg of this race of this podcast.
Yeah, so we've both kind of researched a story, right? Individually.
Yeah, we both have our own stories to bring in. We kind of talk to each other about it a little bit, but we don't give full details, you know, so we're hearing new information while we're listening.
We just try to tease each other with you know what we're bringing to today's podcast.
Yeah, so I think I'll let you go first, and then I don't mind if you don't mind. I'd like to go last, just to finish out on mine.
Okay, let me just slap myself real quick so I can snap into focus.
Yeah.
I gotta lock in because
you gotta lock in. You gotta parapulse it up, man.
so my story comes from actual personal experience. Yeah, so I actually went through something that I can't explain, and even now whenever I tell somebody the story, I can vividly see it in my brain, in my mind. I'll never forget it. It's something that has been stuck with me since it happened.
And it's pretty creepy from
it is creepy. So yeah, it is creepy because I can't explain what I saw. And it wasn't just me. It was me, some friends, and some cousins that saw this. But I want to say that I was around maybe 13 years old. I was living at a apartment complex with my parents, and my sister also had an apartment at the same building. And I kind of grew up there for about, I want to say 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I made friends, me and my cousins made friends with all the other kids that lived at that building. Mm-hmm. And our apartments were scattered throughout the floors. So we had some friends that lived on the first floor. I lived on the second floor. My sister lived on the second floor too. And then there was other kids that lived on the third floor. And we would all kind of like meet up at the first floor to kind of just play. We would just play hide and seek. We would play tag, you know, just kind of like the...
Yeah, standard being a youth.
Yeah, time, like, you know? Growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, like those kinds of games. Tag, hide and seek. You know, we were learning how to skateboard together. So when this happened, we were playing hide and seek. And what was cool about playing hide and seek while living at this apartment building was that you had the entire building to hide in. So you could go hide in the stairs, you could go hide at the parking lot, you could go hide in different people's apartment. So, you know, there was a lot more spots to go hide in. And we were playing hide and seek. It was like me and 10 other kids. So 2 of them were the seekers, and then the other 7 were the ones that were hiding. And
yeah. Tag team hide and seek.
Yeah, it was like a tag team hide and seek. So yeah, so we were all kind of like trying to find somewhere to go hide. And me and I believe 2 other kids went into my sister's apartment, and we went into her master bedroom to go hide. And we just closed the door behind us, and we hid behind her bed. And the master bedroom had this window that was kind of the window was right next to a building adjacent to the building where we lived, so you could see the other building on the other side, right?
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And it was around, I want to say 6 o'clock, so it wasn't completely dark, but it was getting there. There was still there was still light, outside, but it was dark enough in the room that, if somebody came in there and was looking for us, they wouldn't be able to find us.
Yeah, so pretty good hiding spot.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good hiding spot. So we were hiding there, I want to say, for about maybe 5-6 minutes. And the people, the other kids who are seeking, they haven't found us. But 5 or 6 minutes in, I see like a shadow coming from the window. And I look at the window and I see this thing that's floating across it. And I couldn't comprehend like what I was looking at. Like it just, I couldn't tell like what it was that was that was crossing the window outside. And from what I remember, it looked like a floating head. The best way that I can describe it is, in textbooks, when you see the profile of a caveman, you know how it's kind of like they have very like long hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That like stereotypical caveman head with like messy kind of knotted hair.
Yeah, it looked like that, but it was drifting like along the window outside. And I remember I froze, and I could feel the other kids that were hiding with me, they also froze at the same time. And as the head got into the middle part of the window, it stopped. And I was like, I couldn't, my mind couldn't take it. Like I was so surprised by it. Like I couldn't talk, I couldn't move or anything. But as it got into the middle of the window, it stopped, and then it started to shake violently. And that's when I ran. That's when we all ran outside of the room. It was so disturbing. Like, even thinking about it now, I don't know what I saw. Like, I also forgot to say that this window was in my sister's apartment, which was on the second floor of the building. So if it was a bird, I feel like a bird wouldn't be able to drift that slowly across, the window. This thing was, floating. I can't tell. I don't know what I saw that day. And I don't even think I've asked, whoever was there with me, if they remember seeing that. But it's one of the things that like haunts me.
Yeah, for you to still remember it that vividly too, like to be like, yes, I remember this happened.
Yeah, Sean, have you ever seen the video of the headless guy in Iraq? No, I haven't. If you could send that on YouTube. How do I search for it? That sounds crazy. So, what I saw was not a headless guy, but I just saw like the head itself. Yeah. A head without a body. Sounds like it's ghost stuff. Yeah. And it it, it actually came back to me years later, after I grew up. Search YouTube. But yeah, I'll just tell you that when I first started to read manga, I was looking for like a horror manga to read, and I came upon a manga called Seeds of Anxiety. And Seeds of Anxiety is made up of like little vignettes of stories that, you know, tend to be like a little bit creepy. And one of the stories in that manga has a floating head in it. And when I read that little, it's like 3 pages long. When I read that story, like what I experienced came back to me. Like I was shocked because it was so similar to what I saw. It was so similar to what I saw that, you know, I was just shocked that somebody else had experienced something
I
similar
remember
to that.
you were telling me when you were like, hey, I'm reading like other people experience like similar stories, you know?
So let me just show you on screen the manga.
And you have more, right? You said you have like other
I have one more story of somebody that kind of experienced something similar.
Cool.
But so this is the story from the manga Seeds of Anxiety. Let's see if I can pull it up. So it's basically these students, right? You can also see it in the Discord cloud if you want to look at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw you. Yeah.
But, you know, it's these students that are ditching class. So, you know, this is them walking away from their school. And there's kind of, I guess, a teacher that's shouting at them to get, you know, back into class. And they're kind of just laughing at him like, you know, like he's not going to do anything. Like he ain't going to do shit. So they're laughing at him. And then, let me see if I can blow this up. And then as they're laughing at him, right, they see that behind him in the hallway, there's something behind him. And one of the students sees it and he's like, you know, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
And this like profile of a face is there. And
yeah, I see it. That's trippy.
And then it's just floating right behind the corridor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it stares at them and they kind of all freeze all together. And that's where the story ends. And so when
sorry, real quick, this manga is just like a bunch of mini stories pretty much.
Yeah, so I'll put it in chat. The Japanese name is called Fuano Tane. But each manga has like, I want to say 15 to 20 short horror stories. And they're all pretty like freaky. They're all like creepy in their own way.
Yeah, okay.
But when I got to this story, like it was so similar to what I saw as a kid that, you know, it just brought back those memories. And, you know, I was traumatized all over again.
Yeah, dude, I bet. Dude, because when you tell your story, I can tell that you remember it. Like you have like you said, a strong kind of visual.
Yeah, I have a very visual.
And then you read this manga that like shows something similar to what you saw, and you're like, oh man, this is almost like triggering a trauma at that point.
Yeah, it's like somebody like somehow got the story that I lived through and then put it in a book.
Yeah.
But floating heads are not a new thing. Like there's been floating heads throughout different folklore, different ghost stories. The Philippines has one of my favorite scary stories of all time. The story of the Mananlagal. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's a Filipino folklore of a woman who at night detaches her upper torso from her legs. She detaches and then she floats into the air, and I believe that she looks for pregnant women to like eat their babies. But yeah, if you ever Google Mananlagal, the depictions and the drawings, the depictions and the drawings of people who've seen this like legless like demon woman, it looks fucking crazy. It looks so fucking metal. Like it's the most metal like cryptid that I've seen. Like Sasquatch, Bigfoot, like, you know, it's like a big furry man thing. But the Mananlagal, that's like true like horror.
Yeah,
like if you were to see that, like it's horrifying. Yeah. But yeah, let me just tell you guys the other story that I was quickly reading about somebody who had a similar encounter with a floating head.
Okay.
So let me just pull up my notes. So this guy, I don't know what year it is, but he was saying that he was driving in the freeway and that his car suddenly just stalls. So, you know, he needs to pull over and kind of like check out what's going on with his car because it stopped all of a sudden, right? And it won't start back up. So it's pretty late at night. I think it happened to him around 2 in the morning. He calls a friend to come pick him up, but his friend is like kind of far away, so he'll be there like in 2 hours or 3. So he decides to sleep in his car while he waits. But he wakes up soon after, maybe like an hour later, like right at 3 in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, because he hears like some rustling outside of his car, and he thinks that it's his friend, you know, coming to get him. But when
little did he know.
Yeah, but when he doesn't see his friend outside, he goes outside to kind of check out like what's making this noise outside. He goes outside and he sees somebody walking, like, you know how the freeway kind of has like a grassy area next to it?
Yeah.
He sees a body walking in that grassy area, but he also notices that the body has no head, so it's headless. So kind of like what Ice was saying, like a headless guy, right?
His body, yeah.
So he freaks out because he can't believe what he's looking at. He's just seeing this headless body walking around.
Rightfully so. Right? Yeah, anyone would freak out.
But then he notices that the body has a leash that it's grabbing onto, like it's walking like a dog, right? Like a dog leash. And at the end of the leash is a floating head. Yeah. And that
on the leash?
On the leash. Trippy. Yeah. So I don't know how that works, but I'm guessing that the leash is around the neck and that the head is floating like, you know, in front of the headless body.
Yeah.
And so he freaks out and he jumps back into his car, and he says that he pulls like the blankets that he had over his head because he's like, he doesn't want whatever he saw outside to find him. And eventually he, like, you know, he falls to sleep again, and his friend picks him up like in the morning. But he said that this was not the first time that he's seen like weird spirits or like ghost apparitions happen to him. When he was a kid, he would see floating heads at his neighbor's backyard. He would just see like random floating heads. And then at night, when he would try to go back to sleep, when he was trying to sleep in his bed, this woman would appear at the foot of his bed and then shake his bed while he was trying to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, you know, he kind of like,
you're gonna go from scared to annoyed. Let me sleep, motherfucker.
yeah, what the fuck? So yeah, so he was just saying that it's not the first time that he's seen something weird like that.
Yeah.
In his lifetime. But yeah, I just found that super creepy, just seeing like a headless body walking like a dog, like walking
head.
its own head. Yeah. Weird. Yeah. But yeah, Ice says I heard those are some crazy spirits.
Crazy spirits.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, maybe the ghost was just trying to take his head out for a walk or something.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Crazy to think. It's crazy to think.
But yeah, so that's one of my stories that I remember as a kid that I can't explain what I saw. It's really weird. It's one of my most like traumatizing like events, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like it, bro. It sounds like it.
Yeah. But yeah, I have many more stories that I want to cover in future episodes. Yeah, I have a few that, you know, have happened to me recently, or that have happened to me like when I was a kid. So yeah. I'll tell them in future Parapulse episodes.
Yeah. All right, that one's excited to hear more about these.
Yeah, but if you guys have ever seen floating heads or anything, you know, ghost related, we would love to hear about them.
Yeah, it'd be cool if eventually we could do like a just reading people's stories, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
But that was my weird, scary, paranormal event.
Story of the episode.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I guess I can do mine now. As I said earlier in the episode, it is a heist. It is essentially, it's just called what is the museum name? It's the Isabella Stewart Gardner heist, or just the Gardner Museum heist for short. You don't have to say her whole name. Just some prefaces before I start this one. This year, about a week ago, March 18, I believe, is the 35th anniversary of this heist. It is still to this day considered the highest property theft in America. So the way the story goes, and just the way this starts, is the stuff that was taken was worth over $200 million. And today, the artwork stolen is evaluated up to $600 million.
Can I ask you a question?
So before go for it.
Have they recovered the stolen items?
No, they haven't.
Oh, okay.
This is also the biggest unsolved art theft in America.
Okay.
So So just some quick background. Elizabeth Stewart Garner was an heiress, and she owned all this amazing artwork, and obviously came from like a wealthy family. And what she wanted to do is she wanted to share this artwork with the world. So she built this museum in Boston, and she spent a couple of years building it to her vision, build it, put up all the artwork, and people can go see it, right? So the way the story goes is, it was early March 18, 1990, so 35 years ago. Car pulls up to the side of the museum, and two men dressed up as police officers, who would assume were police officers, came and knocked and came to the museum saying that they're responding to a disturbance. The guard of the museum was like, well, yeah, of course, you're cops. They were like, we didn't hear anything. There was no disturbance, but the cops were like, we still need to check. We need to come in because we got like a silent alarm.
Yeah.
So the one guard working there, I believe his name was, let me pull it up real quick. Can't believe I lost his name, but he was supposed to be some really young guy. They kept talking about how he was like inexperienced.
But it was like his 20s. First day at that.
Yeah, so it was his early 20s.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't his first time at the job.
Yeah.
But what I was reading is that he was actually a musician, and so this was his like day gig, right? And at night, he would play shows.
Okay.
So he would. It was actually plenty of times he would. His name was Richard Abbott. So plenty of times he admitted to like showing up to work drunk or hungover because he had just done a concert, right? So this was just a way to pay bills.
He was just living the musician life.
Yeah. So he let the cops in, say, go ahead, take a look around, and he sits behind the guard desk.
Okay.
Again, this is really like early in the morning, late at night, kind of between that time around 2 a.m. I believe it was. And they went in and he sits down and they go, hey, you look familiar. I think there's a warrant out for your arrest.
They tell this to the guard.
They tell this to the guard.
Uh-huh.
They tell this to Abbott. And they're like, we need you to get up and come over here and show us an ID just so we can check.
Okay.
The guard's like, there shouldn't be. I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
The cops insisted, no, come here. We need to get a closer look at you. Show me your ID.
Yeah.
The guard gets up, and when he comes around the table, the cops, quote unquote, or the disguised cops overpower him, push him against the wall, and put him in handcuffs. Then the second guard, there was a second guard that was technically doing his route, walking around, walking the floor, comes in and goes, hey, what's going on? The cops overpower him and put him on cuffs. And he's like, hey, what's going on? We work here, we're guards, we didn't do anything. Like, why are you arresting us? One of the cops tells him, we're not cops. We're not arresting you. This is a robbery. So they, right there and then, they go like, hey, we're here to fucking rob you.
Damn, after they're handcuffed.
After they're handcuffed. So apparently, the thieves took them to the basement of the museum, tied them up with duct tape and handcuffs on to these poles, duct taped their arms, legs, and they even duct taped their entire face. And they left entire face. Space. Yeah, they left enough space for them to be able to breathe. And apparently, one of them, Richard, and the reason I bring him up is there's more about him. Richard Abbott, the rocker, they left enough space on one of his eyes so that he can peek out. For whatever reason, they give him enough space to see, right? So after that, this is where, thanks to the security cameras in this museum, they were kind of able to see where these thieves went, what rooms that they targeted. Obviously, they were wearing masks, so they couldn't identify them. So they started in something that's called the Dutch Room, and they removed a piece by Rembrandt, the artist, called Christ in the Storm of the Sea of Galli, which is one of the most expensive pieces in the things they stole.
Was that the one that you posted on Discord?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that I posted on Discord. So you can go ahead and you can put it on the stream
Wait,
if you want.
did you post it on Discord, or did you? I think you sent it to me on IG.
Here, let me post it on Discord so that you can share with them, because this is one of the most valuable pieces that they took.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Also, you said that they were wearing masks. Were they wearing?
Yeah.
Were they wearing them when they first entered as like?
No, so I'll get to that. Trust me, because you're like, when they were pretending to be cops, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So I just added 3 pictures. These are probably the most valuable pieces they took. So I'll go through that in a second. So let's see, where was I? Okay, Dutch room. They've removed the Christ in the Storm of the Sea of Gali. They removed A Lady and Gentleman in Black, along with, this is the most expensive piece there. It was the Vermeer, the concert that they took. So they knew what they were targeting, because there was other pieces there.
Yeah.
And they knew what pieces to take. They weren't just grabbing everything. They knew how to target the big money items.
Right.
So kind of gives you an idea of like what these thieves were, what they were thinking.
But what was the most expensive piece of artwork valued at?
That I don't know. Per piece, I don't know.
But the last one was the most expensive, right?
Yeah. Then that'll be the third picture I sent you. Called The Concert.
The Concert. Okay.
By the artist Vermeer. So after they hit that room, they took a bunch of. They also took a bunch of Rembrandt sketches that weren't worth much. They were maybe, well, I mean, $100,000. I think what those sketches were evaluated. It's still a lot of money, but compared to the millions of dollars other pieces could have been.
Yeah.
What's also crazy is what they cut. They didn't take them. They didn't take the frames. They cut and broke the arts out of these frames.
Oh, they cut them out.
Yeah.
Why?
So then
why leave the frame?
No clue. Maybe it's easier to carry, right? You don't want to carry these big ass frames. Easier to escape with them.
Oh, true. Yeah.
They hit up another room called the Short Gallery, where they take artwork by Degas, which is another famous kind of European artist.
Okay.
They took 5 of his sketches. So again, not super expensive stuff, but still worth something. On their way out, they grabbed this weird golden eagle. It's they're called like finales, and it's just a decorative piece. It's not even like
it's not real gold.
It's not a piece by a famous artist or anything, right? It's just like a semi-expensive decoration piece.
Oh, okay.
I think that, from what I remembered, was evaluated at like 10K or something like that.
Yeah.
Then they hit up a third room. They took a few other pieces, nothing crazy. And it said that they took 2 trips to their vehicle. So they took artwork to the car, dropped it off, came back, took more to the car, and the whole heist took over 81 minutes.
And this is while the security guards are tied up with
tied up in the basement,
mummified and duct tape.
Yeah, essentially mummified and duct tape. And
I still can't get over that. Like somebody that has wrapped like their entire heads in duct tape. That sounds
so
like a horror movie.
There's an actual photo, and you can post this one, of Richard Abbott. He was tied up with the tape on his face.
Wait, there's actual pictures of what?
Yeah. That one photo.
Bro, that is crazy. Hold on.
Yeah.
So he was a rock star because he's got that long hair.
He has the hair, right? You could tell he was a rocker. You could tell he was a rocker.
Wait. So this is a picture of like when other police go in and find him tied up.
Yeah. So
what the fuck?
Yeah. So when the thieves left the second time, it was around 2:45 a.m.
Okay.
Right. So that's when they vanished into the night with 13 pieces of treasure.
Oh shit.
About 9 full artworks.
Yeah.
No. I believe it was like 7 artworks, the 5 sketches. They stole a Chinese vase and that eagle, the finale, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A succulent Chinese vase. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. They stole a lot of pieces, but again, the main 3 were the the Rembrandt, the Vermeer, and the two Rembrandts.
Yeah.
So then, cops. Oh, real quick. This is. I could tell you after this part then. Actually, so the real cops, show up at 8:15 a.m. To find the guards handcuffed in the basement, helpless still, to duct tape all over them. So imagine these guards were down there from like 1 a.m. to 8:15 a.m.
Wow, dude, that's fucking horrifying.
Right? That's crazy, right? So, like I said, these pieces were at the time were evaluated at like 200 million. Obviously, now 35 years later, the older they get, they're evaluated at up to like $600 million.
Oh yeah.
Now to go back and kind of
yeah. No, I was gonna say probably even more now that their location is unknown.
Yeah. So right now, this year, the article that I found, the new valuation of 2025 is over $600 million
for all the pieces.
For all the pieces.
Who knows where the fuck those pieces are? They could be scattered.
Right. So to go back and answer one of your questions where you're like, hey, weren't the cops, couldn't you see their faces when they came in?
Yeah.
So when they started investigating this, they thought maybe it was an inside job. And they went really hard on Richard Abbott.
Okay.
Because he was the guard that let the cops in.
Okay.
Right? He also previously, earlier in that day, kept opening up a side door, opening and closing it, right?
Just like out of nowhere?
And when they asked him, they said, hey, why were you opening and closing this door so much? He was like, oh, I was making sure that the motion sensors were still working. They were still activated.
Sus.
So they're like, okay. And he said, this is something I do every day.
Okay.
But they said when they looked at the security system track record, there was no detection of that door being open any other day besides the day before, the day of the heist. Right?
Oh,
so already,
weird.
So already kind of suspicious, right? So they're like, hey, how did these cops look? How do they look? And he's like, I don't remember. He could not
that's
fucking. How these guys look.
That's sus.
Right?
Yeah, this is a real story.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, this is a real story.
Yeah,
this is a real story. So they're like, okay, strike two on this guy because he's really looking suspicious right now.
Like, you could at least give a vague description of, maybe white, long hair or anything like that, has a mustache, but he didn't
exactly
say anything.
Yeah, exactly. And by the time the second guard came in, sorry guys, what are you confused about? You can ask your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer. But once the second guard came in, the thieves already had their mask on. So he's like, hey, when they attacked me, they already had their mask on. But remember, these cops were led in. So were they led in by Richard Abbott as an accomplice? Were they led in because they tricked them into thinking that they were real cops checking on the disturbance?
Right.
Currently, it looks like Richard Abbott is suspicious, and it's an inside job.
Well,
so they're investigating more. Go ahead.
Was there anything that Richard could profit off on? Like, did he suddenly get rich out of nowhere because he got a cut or something?
Right? So I'm sure. So the FBI to this day is still investigating the story, but they kept investigating Richard, and this is where a lot of that information came out that he was always drunk on the job. It was fairly new at the work, so they came to the conclusion that while Richard seemed suspicious, he was not smart enough to be able to do something like this. Weird, but whatever, right? That is what then, and they let him go, and I'm sure they kept following him for the longest time because they were still looking for these pieces. The other thing that was also really weird and why it feels like an inside job is the museum was in the middle of changing their security system because it was outdated. So they were planning to change their security system to something better.
Well, now it does feel like it was an inside job.
Right. So imagine getting
Somebody
hit
knew.
right before you do the switch. Right. Somebody knew.
Somebody
Has to have known. Maybe an inside job, or someone just did a really good job at casing the joint. We don't know. A lot of unanswered questions. So, obviously, years go by. No one has found this artwork. The police aren't getting any closer. There's no way to find it. Richard Abbott gets set free. Obviously, gets fired. The other guard goes free, gets fired. No way of finding this art. The museum puts out a reward. It says $10 million if anyone can help us find this artwork. More time passes, nothing. Museum says, hey, you know what? We'll give you $20 million if anyone can help us retrieve the art. We'll even like no questions asked. You know?
Yeah.
So whether you were a part of it or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know? Some time passed, and then they lowered the ransom again. Or not the ransom, the reward. They dropped it back to 10K. 10 million, I should say. But they offered 100,000 separately if you would return the eagle. The gold eagle.
Yeah.
So they offered $100,000 just for the return of that. Again, no questions asked. And they said, hey, if you just return parts of the artwork, you'll still get a percentage of the main big reward. So like maybe you return one piece, you get $2 million. So, you know, I was doing my research and I'm thinking the story ends here, right? These thieves got away with it. They stole over $600 million worth of art. Who knows where they are? Who knows where the art is?
Yeah.
But the museum gets a letter in the mail saying, hey, I know. In 1994, 4 years after, receives an anonymous letter saying they want a deal for the return of the stolen artwork. The letter claims that the art was being held in a secure location and would be returned in exchange for immunity from prosecution and a ransom of $2.6 million. Right. So the writer in the letter warned that if the demands were not met, that they would destroy the artwork.
Damn.
The museum took the letter serious, right? Because they have gotten plenty of letters about this, right? People saying they know where it's at. I can help.
Yeah.
But
and you said that this was 4 years later?
Yeah, so
4 years
1994.
After? Okay.
4 years after. Yeah.
Okay.
But this letter, they don't tell us these details. I didn't at least from my research, I didn't find any details of the letter.
Okay.
But all they said was that the letter shared some details about the artwork that only someone in possession of the artwork would know.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was definitely somebody who
so
was
either confident either stole it, was a part of it, or knew where the work
was. Yeah.
So the museum went to the FBI, showed them the letter. They decoded some codes that were on there. Again, we as the audience, I guess I'll say, weren't given this information.
Right.
But they replied back to they tried to reply back to the anonymous letter and hear a response, but they never got a reply back. They never got a second letter. And they were never able to find the identity of who wrote it or where the artwork is. So the FBI either believes that the person became nervous due to all the media attention. Yeah. I like to believe that they were a rat and got caught and they got murdered. Yeah. That's my theory. That someone was ready to make some money off of this and clean their name and they got taken out.
If
I also like to believe that maybe it was Richard Abbott who did the inside job and said, hey, I'm scared as fuck. I want to come clean.
Yeah, that if your theory, if we're going with your theory, I feel like it is an inside job, because if the museum did have somebody from the inside that did it, then they would know of the person that was sending that letter. Yeah, like they would be like, oh, okay, somebody is trying to rat us out, so let's take them out before. Yeah,
right. So let's say it was like someone inside the museum, not the guards, but like someone higher up.
Somebody higher up,
And
yeah.
got that. And they got that letter. They're like, "Hey, someone is claiming they know where we have the stuff. Let's figure out who. Let's smoke out the rat and take care of them."
That's crazy.
So it's crazy. There's just so many like unsolved questions. Why did Richard Abbott not remember their faces?
Yeah,
and one of the other
really sus.
Big, one of the other big like notes of like why it was an inside job was at that guard desk where Richard was sitting at, right before the cops showed up or the robbers showed up, whatever you want to call them. There's an emergency button. Hey, what's up, Novas? There was an emergency button at that desk, right? So if something was happening, you would press it and it would contact the police.
The panic button, right?
Yes, right. But remember, the robbers told Richard, "Hey, we need you to get up. We need you to move from your desk and come here so we can see your ID." So they must have known that button was there, and they had to trick him to moving away from his desk, so that he couldn't press it.
Or you can always say like put your hands where we could see them, and then if you move them,
right.
They have no chance of them to reach that button.
Yeah, exactly. So they wanted to make sure there was no way.
Yo, what's up, Shami?
Yeah, hey, Shami. Oh, we're about to be done. Damn.
Yeah. We're already like 2 hours into the podcast. But yeah, welcome.
Oh, damn. But yeah, so that is the other big like inside job because they knew, right? Or again, maybe they
let me just show chat this picture because without context. This picture is horrifying.
Put it up. Yeah,
dude.
That's how the guard was found in the basement.
Do 2 more hours again. Seeing this picture, it freaks me out because it kind of reminds me of like Saw, like seeing somebody just tied up with a face.
Yeah, no, it is a robbery. It's called the Elizabeth Stewart Garner Museum heist, and TLDR, the thieves stole about 13 pieces of artwork worth over $2 million at the time, back in 1990. The art is now considered around $600 million. Still missing. No one has been caught, and no whereabouts of where the artwork is.
I think I'm with you, Cloud. I think it was an inside job,
right?
But I don't think that, or maybe the security guard was in it. But I feel like there was more people at the museum.
Right? I got one more for you, dude. One more inside job note. One more like nail on the coffin.
It's a guy.
It's not a girl. It's a guy. His name is His name is Richard Abbott, and he was one of the security guards working the museum the night it got robbed.
He was working at the museum, and the robbers tied him up, and then tied his whole face up with duct tape.
With tape, yeah.
That's horrifying. That picture is crazy.
So remember we keep saying maybe it was Richard, right?
Yeah.
Richard seems too suspicious.
You can't recall their face. Yeah.
Strike 3 for Richard was a few days before the heist. There is video footage of Richard letting this guy in to where the security desk is and let him walk around the desk behind the desk so he can see where the button's at, he can see where the computer's
at.
Some random guy. And in their rules, he wasn't supposed to ever let anyone in there. Anyone that didn't work there.
Yeah.
So they asked him, "Who is this man and why did you let him in?" And he's like, "I don't remember him.
What the fuck? No way."
Right? So you're like, how there's no way. Like, Richard doesn't know. I know we were going off he was a drunk and he didn't care about his job, but like, there's no way we sit here and Richard doesn't know something.
Can I tell you something, like something that this kind of reminds me of, but there is a plant, I believe it's in Cuba or something. In some part of the world, there's this plant that they crush into dust. They dry it and then they crush it into dust, and from what people have heard is that they blow this dust into somebody's face, and it causes that person to go into a state where they're vulnerable to anything that is commanded to them. So if you tell them like, hey, I want you to go rob this bank, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's something that was used on this guy, but maybe something similar was used on him, because again, when this dust is blown into these people's faces, whatever they do during that time when they're under that drug, they don't remember.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was something similar to something like this. But yeah, it's really hard not to think, right? With all the clues we've gotten, that it wasn't some sort of inside job. But yeah, and if anyone's wondering, you know, you mentioned what happened to Richard. Did he get rich or anything? Like, the last thing that we know of is that he died at age 57 after fighting some sort of long illness. So we don't. He was the last, from what I'm reading. He was the last remaining person that would be able to talk about the heist that was a part of it, right? That was either there when it happened or something like that.
I'm calling it. I think he was slowly poisoned to death to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows, right? And like I said, maybe that letter was him, and they talked him out of it. It's crazy to think, but yeah, that's pretty much the story. Another little kind of fun fact is the $10 million reward is still in place till this day. So, if for whatever reason someone finds this artwork, $10 million, bam, like that.
Here, I'll put some pictures up of the artwork, so if you guys have seen any of it anywhere, you know, you can be, right. you can get $10 million for
returning them.
Yeah, what's this one on the screen that I'm showing right now? It's like some cool dude with a cool cape.
Yes, this is the this is the it has a very simple name. It's the Lady and the Gentleman in Black. This is Rembrandt.
Again, I know where it is.
The top three, one of the most expensive ones. The other one is, if you showed the boat one, that's the Christ in the Storm of the Sea of Gali, and that's actually my favorite piece.
Yeah, that one looks fucking sick.
This one looks fucking sick. Showed and then yeah, right. It looks so cool.
Dude, they're getting fucked by that wave or whatever.
Yeah, right. They're just getting torn up. And obviously, I said the Vermeer, the concert is the most valuable one out of all of them. Which is a nice piece. Again, just I mean, not my vibe.
I like the one with the ocean killing those people on the boat.
And the museum actually just recently, for the longest time, the spots where the pieces were left empty. You can go and see where they would have been, right?
Did they have the frames?
Some of the frames were there, broken, messed up, and nothing there. Recently, they finally got around to, because I can imagine it's expensive, to restoring all the broken frames, and they're there. The frames are there, empty, in hopes that one day these pieces return to this museum.
That's fucking crazy. That's
imagine.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that's such a cool story.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I love it. I've just been obsessed with it. It took them 81 minutes to take these. I mean, obviously they had planning before.
They took 2 trips.
But on when it started on the play, when it said it's go time, 81 minutes to steal 13 pieces of artwork and instantly become $200 million wealthy.
Bro, we're in the wrong career.
We're in the wrong career.
We gotta be stealing some fucking golden eagles.
Yeah, golden eagles finales. Let me one last photo for you to share, and then we can wrap up. It's the photos of the empty frames.
Yeah, Novas is saying that they gotta sell it somewhere, but I'm guessing that they sold it to some like rich collector that was willing to pay a lot for these pieces. But I wonder why.
It's probably some black market pieces sold outside the country, so they can't be caught. There's a lot of countries that don't have any kind of agreement with.
Is this the museum?
Yeah, I think that's just one of the rooms of the museum. Those are just the empty frames. You can see the one in the back and stuff like that.
Oh wow! Right.
Xiaomi with the hydrate. Honestly,
thank you for the hydrate.
Why?
Yeah,
you're gonna hear the pop.
We were talking about at the start of the podcast that the mouth is the moistest part of the body at all times.
But yeah, those are the empty frames. I think I've given all the details I can. I absolutely love this story. I'm a big fan of like heist stuff. I don't know. I just find it really interesting. I myself like want to learn how to
steal 11 artworks from the museum.
I love doing like sleight of hand and stuff like that. I don't know. I just find that stuff really interesting.
This is kind of like sleight of hand, but to like an extreme proportion. Like now you see it. Now you're tied up with fucking duct tape all over your face. Now you don't.
Yeah. I do magic.
Cloud does magic. Yeah.
Big magic, sleight of hand, cardistry.
I've recorded some of his videos. The ones where you bust your card moves.
Yeah. The cardistry. Yeah, I love it.
Very talented fingers.
That too. Maybe one episode we'll post a little video up or do a trick. Show us some tricks. Next episode, Xiaomi, if you show up next episode, I'll have a video for Renjo to post and you guys can see the trick.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. You know which is one of my favorite tricks that you do?
Yeah, which one?
The one where you pop a card from one side of your hand, from one hand to the other. You like flick it.
Oh, when like I flick it? Yeah,
that's so sick. Yeah, I wanna learn how to do that.
Okay, I can show you too. Maybe we'll make it a thing.
He'll show you his finger skills, his hand skills.
My hand skills.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we perfectly hit the 2 hour mark, I should say.
We have like I still have 1 or 2 videos that I want to show. Did you have a feel good stuff?
I didn't, but you said your videos are funny, so hopefully we'll do that. So just to again wrap up my story, and then we can show the video.
Great story, by the way.
Thank you. I'm glad. I really enjoyed researching this and just watching videos on it, reading articles, and even kind of like appreciating the artwork. So again, that was Elizabeth Stewart Gardner Museum Theft. The museum is in Boston. If you are ever in Boston, you're more than welcome to go check it out. I think it'd be cool to see. Even seeing these empty frames in person, now you know a bit more. Now there's a story behind the story, right?
I kind of feel like it even makes the empty frames
a bit more appealing, right? Like there's another reason to visit the museum, not just the art.
It makes them like some sort of like artwork in their own like way.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But yeah, that was it for me.
Dude, that's sick.
We're just gonna head over some videos.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say like that story was fucking crazy, and the pictures that you had to go along with it were crazy. Even my favorite picture is the guard.
The guard.
Yeah.
That's fucking haunting. I'm like, I can't imagine the cops having like the foresight to take that photo, but they got to check out. Who knows? But that's cool that they did have that.
He's like, they just go and they're like, we just need you to hold that pose real quick.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'm excited for the story that you have for next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
I got more more heist stories, more
Yeah.
art theft, jewel thieves, bank robberies. I got it all. So
And for you guys that you just got here, we have a name for the podcast. We're calling it the Parapulse podcast. We're gonna start uploading to YouTube, so if you guys missed any of the stream, you can hear it again on the YouTube channel that's gonna be made by next week.
yeah, we'll have that YouTube channel by next week.
Yeah, so we'll have the first 2 episodes on there. We're also gonna make a logo, or I'm gonna make a logo for the Parapulse podcast, and we'll be making also an email. So if you guys want to email any cool stories, personal ones that you have, or just any in general that you want us to cover, like, you know, it's
And
just
let us know. Sorry, not to cut you off. Let us know
go for it.
too. Like, we're our time to start the podcast now is like 6:30
Earlier.
p.m. PST. If that isn't working out for you guys, like if you need it maybe at least an hour later, like 7:30, let us know because we'll try to accommodate. Because we are like happier when you guys are here. You know, we rather do this when you guys are hanging out. So
maybe we can start it half an hour later. Yeah. Maybe start it at 7.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm just the only reason I'm pausing you is I'm sorry, I really gotta go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna let you set up the videos, and I'll be back real quick, and then I can watch them with you.
okay, go for it. But yeah, thanks again, Shami, Novas, anybody that stopped by the stream, Iced, Hermit. Thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, next week we're gonna have some more current stories. I'm planning to do a kind of like a cryptid story next week, so anything to do with like weird humanoid encounters. I have a couple of friends who I want to interview. They told me that they've seen things when they go camping or when they've gone hiking, so I'm gonna try to get stories from them, and then I'll bring them to you guys over here next week. But yeah, we're starting at 6:30 Pacific time, so if you want to stop by and hang out, we're just gonna talk about weird shit. So but yeah, how are you guys doing? Hope everything is. When are you gonna go do that creepy haunted place? The haunted tour? Maybe I'll do that this week. My friend was I'm good. How about you guys? This is every Tuesday, right? Yeah, we're doing it every Tuesday. Yeah, every Tuesday, 6:30 Pacific time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably try to do the haunted tour this week. I had a couple of friends who wanted to go with me, so I'm trying to see if their schedule lines up with mine's. That way we can all go together. I can probably even like stream it, like do a IRL stream for that. But yeah, we're gonna have, there's so many stories that I want to cover on future episodes that I'm excited for. But yeah,
all right, yo. Okay, sorry about that.
how was the pee?
Yeah, it was good. It was all that hydration Tommy made me do.
we blame Tommy for
the hydrate.
For that. Yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, that was a cool story. I can't wait for next week. I might do the haunted tour this week. So I might have some stories from that.
Nice, nice.
It's healthy, bro. No, yeah. We were talking about how we IRL stream, during the haunted tour. Yeah, maybe. We were talking about how we have like all these drinks with us when we start the stream because talking, we need a lot of mouth lubrication in order to talk a lot. So I know Cloud has a liquid death with him.
Yeah.
And I have a Red Bull, but I need to buy more liquid death. So sponsor us.
Oh, so you like the one I got you last time, the Slaughterberry?
Yeah, that one was really, really good.
Okay. Nice.
But I know that they've come out with new flavors, right?
Yeah, they have Slaughterberry. So they have their sparkling water.
Yeah.
They have their still water. They have their teas, and now they have their like kind of like sparkling sodas.
We're talking about Liquid Death, by the way, guys. If you don't know, it's a brand of water that kind of looks like it's an energy drink or like a beer.
A beer,
Yeah. Let me just pull up some pictures of it.
Yeah, it's a really cool brand. Everything's aluminum because like their slogan is "Death to Plastic." So it's all like cool kind of metal in your face style of marketing and logos and branding. And all their drinks have kind of like silly names like Slaughterberry, Convicted Melon.
Convicted Melon.
Convicted Melon. There you go. You see
Mango Chainsaw.
Obituary.
Yeah.
Severed Lime.
So we're trying to get a sponsor from Liquid Death.
Yeah, that's like my choice of drink for everything. Like I've been obsessed with Liquid Death for years now, and I always buy all their new stuff. I have a Liquid Death backpack. I got them to sponsor my work party.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So we got cases and cases of Liquid Death on the hookup. That was super dope of them. Does it taste good? It tastes fantastic. And if you don't want something with flavor, you can just get their regular flat water. They actually have just a flavorless flat water.
You should try
hydrating.
it. You should try it, Shami. Like you could get them at any convenience store.
Most grocery stores.
Grocery stores, yeah.
And you can get it on Amazon too. So you know, no excuse, Shami.
No excuse.
I'm already pushing it on people. Drink it.
Drink it or else. All right. Well, yeah.
I mean, I'll gift you a case of Liquid Death. Hit me up on the DMs, and you tell me where to ship it to. That's how big I am on the brand. I want everyone to drink it.
Yeah, no, he got me. He got me to start drinking it. So, yeah. All right. So this is the first video that I have for you guys. These are just gonna be random videos to end the stream because we talked about some pretty heavy shit, especially in the beginning of stream.
Yeah.
This lady who drowned her dog at an airport. Horrible. Like shit. So we kind of want to end off stream with something something.
Yeah, we're going to give you guys a little bit of a palate cleanser.
Yeah, we want you guys to sleep. So
yeah.
But yeah, so this is a TikTok about this girl who found a big ass banana, and she's gonna crack it open for us. So did you want me to count it down for you, Cloud, or?
Yeah. Let me count it down, and I'll play it on my end so that we're synced up.
Okay. 3. Oh wait. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah.
It's a big ass banana.
Dude, it's a thick ass banana. Cracks it open. Bro, there's twin bananas in there.
Dude, it's like double rainbow of bananas. Double banana.
Double banana. Dude, wait, am I even showing you guys the... Wait.
No, let me guess. There's 2 hot dogs in the bun. Yep, there was 2 hot dogs in the bun.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I mean, I would have saved that banana and had it like grated. Double banana. You could probably sell that for. That's rare. It's a gay banana.
Yeah, post it on eBay and sell it like the Cheetos are that we talked about
Bro,
last
it is
episode.
snuggling bananas. They're snuggling in there.
Oh my god, it's B1 and B2 from Banana and Pajama. Bananas in pajamas. We're walking down the stairs. That throwback show, man. Aging myself here.
All right. Here's the next video. It's gonna be the third one, Cloud.
Shami said it. Damn, that's old.
Bananas in pajamas, dude.
Yeah.
that was a fever dream.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready when you are.
This is the third one. This is the girl at the.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, what's going on here? She's bringing in her phone.
Shit. Yeah. So the jewelry owner is showing her this like I want to say it's like a tiara, right? Golden tiara.
Yeah.
And she's like kind of taking pictures. I'm guessing she's saying like it's for maybe her friend wants to buy it. Yeah. And then she just walks out, bro.
What the fuck?
Late.
She's like, thanks, bye.
Bro, she just dipped.
Man,
she's running.
She's fucking it. Wow. They just see... It's on brand. She stole.
Yeah. So this reminded me of you because, you know, you were covering like a theft.
Yeah.
Did she get caught? I don't know.
Yeah. Like it says, one of the comments in the video says, guys, he got it back and she was arrested. It was on the news.
Oh, she got caught. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was like, you know, it was gold. It was like a golden tiara. But, bro, as the jewelry store owner, like, I wouldn't hand somebody something like that. Or at least have a door, right, that locks. That, like, locks itself and you have to, like, push a button for it to open.
Yeah.
Because she just walked out with it.
Yeah, she was just like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She looked like she was skipping at first. Like, she just skipped away.
Yeah. She was like, it's mine now. Okay. So this is the hold on.
The top video, right?
The top video, yeah. So this is just a random video that I found on TikTok and I just wanted to show it on stream.
Okay.
Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can I? Okay. So let me know when you're ready, Cloud.
Yeah, I'm ready. Go for it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Do you know what's going on?
No.
Okay, so this bus stop sign is trying to commit suicide, and this little
yeah.
this little fairy is trying to keep it from killing itself. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had a bus stop that wanted to kill itself?
No, my god, no, never had a bus stop.
Like it's trying to like drown itself by tying a like it's trying to burn, it's trying to self-immolate itself.
That's actually crazy. It's a little fairy thing though. It's so cute.
She's just trying to save her bus stop buddy.
Yeah. That felt like a fever dream.
Yeah, so this is a, let me see if I can play it again. I won't play. So this is a show from Japan. I actually got some notes for it. It's a 1984 show called Dokincho Nemurin.
Okay.
So the story of it goes, a family awakens 3 fairies from their 800 million year old sleep, and then they just get into like weird, like mischievous adventures. And just from watching this clip, I kind of want to watch more of it because it's so random. Just
It is. I would want to watch more, or even just at least more clips.
yeah. A suicidal bus stop sign. But yeah, so I guess we'll leave you guys off with that. Thank you again to anybody that stopped by. We'll be back next week with episode 3, Parapulse.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Can you tease us with the story that you're gonna be covering next week?
I can, but it's between 2, so I'll tell you a little bit of. I'll give you a little bit of both.
Okay.
One, or at least one, the most recent one that I think is the one I'm leaning to. It is about.
Yeah, just give us like a little tease.
It is about a diamond heist. It takes place in a place called a dome, the Diamond Dome.
The Diamond Dome.
And the guy that might be responsible for it happens to be a guy that used to be a famous jewel thief, retired famous jewel thief. We'll see if he's unretired.
Oh, so he came back and was like, all right, I'll have one more go.
One more job. It's always one more job with these people.
And was it just one diamond, or was it like?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if they got away with anything.
Yeah. That sounds cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And the story that I'm gonna be doing next week, I think is gonna be, a friend recently told me that they saw something in a park that I live nearby.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna interview them and ask them about their, what they saw.
Okay.
Because I've never seen any. I haven't even heard of stories of people seeing creatures at this park, but apparently there's a lot. So I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole, and
yeah,
try to find some of these stories.
Some local stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to report on some local stories. Maybe I'll go hunting. And try to see if I see anything.
Be careful. I still need you as a podcast partner, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, Thanks again, everyone, for joining in. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Novaz, Xiaomi, Ice. Everyone that showed up. Akira, I know you were lurking, so shout out to you if you're still here.
Yeah.
Again, 6:30, but we might push it to 7. Let us know what time works best for you guys. I will again want you guys to be able to be here from the get-go. See you guys next stream.
Yeah. And if you see a bus stop that's trying to kill itself, try to
give it a stop.
Tell it to stop. Yeah.
Get it? Give it a stop sign.
All right, guys. Have a good night. See you.
Good night. See ya.